Okay, so I'm staying at Airbnb in basically a mansion here in Starkville, Mississippi, home of the Mississippi Bulldogs. Look at that sweet library. Getting ready for tomorrow morning. I will be doing my very first race ever, and it's a gravel race. It's 100 miles. It's part of I don't even know what these things are called. Okay, I don't even know what happens if I win or place in the top 50 or the top 100. I know if I win, I probably won't be working my normal job anymore come Monday, but that's about all I know. So I'm riding a gravel bike that is way too heavy, and I'm going to build it right now. Even though the gravel bike's made of magnesium and carbon and aluminum and some other stuff probably, it is not the ideal bike to be on for this kind of race, to place well, but it's the bike I have, and I'm gonna make it work, so I'm gonna build it now. After I cleaned it, I put no oil on it, so it's been dry for a little bit, so I need to get that fixed. I am going to be taking this first race in everybody's favorite kind of pedal, the flats. I just don't feel very comfortable clipping in. I had one bad experience on a gravel bike. The climb was too big, and I just felt so out of control that I'm like, I'm just gonna try flats for a while. I didn't know I was gonna be doing this race until just a few days ago, and the race is tomorrow. So the idea of getting used to riding in clip-in mountain bike shoes or gravel shoes, I just want to have confidence. My mental game needs to be high tomorrow because this is gonna be the longest I'm in the saddle. This is getting me ready for the 200 at Unbound, and yeah, so maybe I'll be riding a lighter bike by then, but for now, this is the go-to bike. So most importantly, I need to finish the race. That is tomorrow's goal, is to finish the race. That's the best I can hope for. And look, this is already coming off. That's what happens when you do things yourself and you think you're really good at stuff. It's 8:30. It's bedtime. Let's have fun trying to go to sleep before the big race, because I don't sleep well before I have big rides, and I'm assuming that this is going to be the worst night of sleep of my life. I don't sleep well whenever I'm away from my family, and especially that very first night. I don't sleep well. When I wake up at 4 o'clock, I will be making breakfast, be getting all my crap ready. Last night, I ate a big bag of chips that I thought were vegan, but maybe the spicy version's the vegan. But I'm like, I don't want to eat spicy stuff. So I got the other kind. And when I looked at the back halfway through, it said contains milk. So if I don't succeed today, it's because I messed up my engine. I put the wrong stuff in. I have some milk in my system, and it's not good. Of course, if I do exceptionally good today, it's not because of the milk. Anyways, I'm a little nervous about that. The problem with this ride is that it starts out super cold. I mean, we're talking like mid-20s, and then it's gonna stair step the heat pretty quickly. But I'm gonna be starting out the race with these lobster gloves, and eventually I need to be switching to these so I can have more mobility. I'm obviously gonna wear the LEO Whitney jacket, thermal, but the base layers until then, I mean, I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks, and I'm just not sure. I'm being quiet because we have neighbors. But I'm also thinking about throwing bags in my shoes just to keep my feet warm from the wind at the beginning, because it's going to be miserable. But then, since I'm wearing flats, I can just hop off for a second, take my shoes off, pull those bags out, litter a little bit, and then pretend like it wasn't me, you know?
So I get to the start line with like 2 minutes to spare and realize I have got to go pee. So mistake number 1. waiting till the absolute last second to go pee and being behind schedule. I go pee, I make it back to the line just in time to get started. David Guth comes back and joins me. And then here comes mistake number 2. We get rolling, and I cannot get my glove on. That little lobster glove. Can't get it on. Justin's looking at me like, come on, man, they're going to leave you. They're going to be done before you get your glove on. He wasn't saying all that. He doesn't sound like that either. But David stops and takes a picture. No, actually, they sang to him because it was his birthday. I got to ride with David on his birthday. So, we're off. We're following this car. Nobody's racing yet. David and I are trying to just catch up, get our legs warmed up. Have I mentioned it's 28 degrees outside? It really feels like 24, but it's 28 degrees outside. Freezing cold. And we're chasing this group down until we get to the gravel, in which part the car leaves, and we are officially racing. Here it is. We're racing right here. But man, it was such a beautiful day, but my feet are freezing, so that actually was mistake number 0. I did not put those bags over my feet. Alright, mistake number 3. I wore my brand new pair of sunglasses for the first time. The contrast right here is insane. The brights are fine, the darks are so dark. And look at that ice, it is so cold out here. So anyways, we're rolling, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get going. David told me to leave. The dude in front of me is riding a single speed. I should be able to drop him. I'm on a mountain bike with all kinds of gears, and I'm fit. At least I'm fit for where I was this time a month ago. These roads are beautiful. Now, if you're sitting in your living room and you have the perfect temperature going on, you assume that I'm feeling whatever temperature you're feeling. But no, I can't appreciate the beauty that much because I'm freezing. Can't feel my hands, I can't feel my feet. Every time I pull my gaiter up, my glasses fog over, so my mouth is cold, my neck is cold, my nose is cold, my eyeballs are cold, my armpits are cold. Somehow my whole body's cold. But I'm chasing these people down because I'm like, this is what you do in a race. You give it your all the whole time, and if you blow up before the end, you had non-vegan stuff the day before, and you can have a vegan excuse. That was my thinking. I'm just going to ride hard all day long, regardless of what comes my way. I'm chasing this guy in the orange helmet up ahead, and I'm passing it what I'm assuming is the oldest gentleman on the ride. Super nice guy. When I saw him earlier, I was like, that guy's a ringer. He is going to come out here and crush it, and he was crushing it. But I'm chasing this guy right here in front of me, and he's already helped me not miss a few turns. Again, look at how beautiful this morning is. The sun is so bright. So I'm finally like, okay, I'm going to pass this guy. This is happening. I followed him long enough. He probably thinks I'm just trying to draft. And this always happens to me. I pass a guy, and then I come to a T, and I don't know which way to go. Every time I'm in a group ride, this happens. So because somebody else is holding the map. And it's not me. There he goes. He passed me. And I think I'm about to tell him that this happens to me every time. Because it happens again within the next 5 minutes. Here we go again for the pass. We're about to come to another T, which is, again, just the way things go for me. So at this point, I'm pretty confident that I figured out how the system works of when to turn and when not to turn. We're entering into the hardest climbs of the day. I'm not really going this fast, I obviously zoomed it up. But there's hope, there's somebody ahead of me. Somebody I can try to chase down. Finally see them. Then we get to the toughest climb. And the guy in front of me is off and walking. I'm like, okay, this is my moment. I gotta just stay on my bike. I'll stay at a better speed than him, and I'll catch up with him in the next section. Within the next mile or two, I'll be right there with these guys. But in my head, I am afraid of spinning out because me and hills do not get along very well because of something called power modulation, power and weight distribution, and gravel in general. This is why I wear flats. I wear flats for moments like these so that I don't have to start spinning out, fall off the bike, and wish I wouldn't have come. I make it over the hardest part. I'm about to go again. The next mistake. I wore those lobster gloves, and I could not get my jacket unzipped from the bottom up, and I'm starting to sweat because I've been chasing people down. So I have to pull over like an idiot and unzip my jacket so I can finally cool down. What I didn't realize is that this is going to be the first mistake that set me up for the DNF that's coming. Sorry for the spoiler. I'm back up and riding, and I'm working my tail off to chase these guys back down, thinking, if I just work really hard, I'll catch them. Then I was like, oh, there's supposed to be an aid station. Maybe this truck up here on the right is the aid station. I'm not even looking left at that sign. Or those little stakes that say, hey, you should turn left here if you want to stay on course and ride with all the riders. So here I am, spending 10 minutes going the wrong direction. I stop, pull my map out, import it into Strava so I can see which direction to go. I realize I'm off course. I finally get back on course, and I'm racing again. 10 minutes behind. I have no idea where I'm at with everybody. All I know is if I'm going to do the whole 100 miles today, it's now or never. I've got to catch up with somebody. And I was a little discouraged that I was so far behind at this point, but I was also encouraged that I had a map. This was not going to happen to me again. Worst case scenario, I lose a few seconds moving forward. But I wasn't going to lose a whole 10 minutes or 20 or 30 or whatever. And then I see somebody. And in my mind, I was like, okay, that's the guy with the orange helmet and the orange vest that I was chasing down earlier. And if I can catch up with him, then we can ride together for a while because I've burned some matches to get back in this game. At this point, I realize it's my man David Guth from Batesville, Arkansas, my riding buddy, on his birthday, and he's wondering, Bill, how did you were way ahead of me. How did you get behind me? And I told him what happened, and I said, you know what? This is like jumping out of an airplane for the first time. You might think you can do it, but really you need somebody who's hanging on to you and making sure you fall the right way and you live to tell about it so that you can do it by yourself later. And David and I are riding Unbound in June, and I thought, why am I trying to do this 100 miles by myself? I'm just going to lean on the expert. I'm just going to ride with you, David. Well, these are the last of my vegan excuses. In about the next 20 or 30 minutes or whatever, my GoPro died. I get 56 miles in total. We're back at the halfway point, which is the first lap of the thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. Because we're going to be here all night trying to finish this ride. And I thought we were going to get cut off at noon. And so I didn't think Dave was going to be able to do the last part of the ride. So I didn't want to ride it by myself. Again, like I said, these are vegan excuses. And I did not finish. But I don't feel defeated because I had a blast. I got to hang out with David. David said it was a hard ride. David's done Unbound 100 times. Or he's done it 4 times. He's completed it 4 times. So David's a legit cyclist. And to top it all off, my wife was ready for me to be home. And so was my family. And I was ready to see them. On the way home, I kept saying, man, I wish I could have finished. Man, I wish I could have finished. And then I would see the temperature on my car and be like, oh, you know what? No. I'm glad I'm in my car and warm, and I'm going to go see my family and be home by 5 o'clock. The team that put this race on was absolutely amazing. The free stuff was amazing. The experience was amazing. I cannot wait to race again. I know my goal was to set out to complete it. I didn't meet that goal, but the goals that I did meet were awesome, and I'm so thankful that I did it. Race number 1, done.